Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. And yes, it's Ron and it is Brian, and we have a new post time today. So you're seeing us a little later. It's 12:17 p.m., but it doesn't change the fact that we got a fast main track, firm turf course, and big news in the Rainbow Six.
Yes, $700,000 in the estimated jackpot. There were 4 of the 8 runners on Sunday were singles.
Right.
And Safi Joseph Jr., Mr. 1000, congrats to him, got it done, and that spurred this carryover. And as Ronnie said, 110 on the weekdays, but Saturday, of course, with Fountain Youth, will remind you, Sunday's still traditional 12:10, but 110 now going forward, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Thank you for helping out today.
Yeah, no problem. It's been always fun to work with you here. We got about almost 50,000 already in the early pick 5 pool. And we got, as I mentioned, fast main track, firm turf course. A little warm today in South Florida, but you're expecting that? It is South Florida.
That's right.
And this guy's been hot. Let's check out his early pick 5 ticket.
Well, I'm not going to put a lot into this pool today. I mean, I think this is very formful early, at least, early in the card. Race number 4, I go 3 deep in there with the top pick, the 4, Busy Morning. And in race number 5, the top pick is the 4 again in that spot. That is Scaramanga. Very tight early ticket, Ronnie. The late pick 5 could be a lot more expansive. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, $4.50. Don't get it twice. Get it 3 times. Just don't cost you that much and everything. So the first race is going to be on the main track today at 6.5 furlongs, and these are claimers 4-year-olds and up. Did have a couple of scratches in here of the 3, Real Rocket Boy, and the number 6, Handsome Runner. So thus a 5-horse field. And you're right about the number 5 horse in here. Awesome first, Jenna Antonucci, first off the claim. But that performance last time out certainly points this horse out as the one to fear.
Yeah, exactly, Ron. Now, we talk about this a lot. I could have easily used the 7 on my ticket to put out a $9 ticket. I don't really feel like it's beneficial to the betting public to say both of these horses have equal chances and you should spend twice as much money. Awesome first. Jenna Antonucci, Belmont Travers winning trainer, does not make a lot of claims. This horse ran very well last time, and you can see we've got this right in a row here.
And a lot of guesswork with the number 7. You know, since its debut back in November of 22, 6 furlongs on that good track, ran second. They've tried everything with this horse. It's a mile, turf, synthetic. So there's a lot of guesswork, but dropping in half today from 25 to 12.5, and I think that's part of the allure.
Yeah, and now we're going to try a dirt sprint as well. Good post for Luis Saez and his style to be pressing, but I still think at the end of the day, Awesome First be a little too much in here.
Yeah, the gang's all back from Saudi over there, so everybody should be here all week long, and congratulations to Junior Alvarado. Wins that $20 million race. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. The one last shift is going to try the main track again. A couple of decent performances against this level going on the Tapeta. 3 starts back. That dirt race wasn't very pretty.
No, and that's not going to cut it here. Looks like since he's come back off the layoff, the slop was his best race. It's all dry land out there today.
We're going to go to the Tapeta in race number 2. It's 1 mile and 1/16th, and this race here is claimers for 4 and up who have never won 3 races or a race since August 28th. So a couple of conditions here. Scratch the 2 Midway Mischief and the number 3 Sarawat, and you got your early pick 4 tickets. Samantha not with us for the last couple of days, so Brian's in charge of basically all the tickets we got.
Well, you got the rainbow, the most important one. We can show it real quick, and I'll tweet it out, of course. It's just a follow-through, another $450. But, we talk about this a lot. These are the type, if you're agreeing with me, these are the type of tickets, as Ronnie just said earlier on. Punch it a few times and get some bankroll for a much later sequence that I think is going to be much deeper and more competitive.
Well, you went with the number 8, I believe, on top here as you singled it, and that is a Caratano. And Caratano from the Victor Barboza Jr. Bond. Paco Lopez in the saddle. And you look at this horse, comes off the bench, tries a mile in the 16th on the turf against Better, drops to the 12.5 level for a pretty sharp bond that's struggling a little bit at the championship meet.
Capital S with the struggling. Let's show the replay here, though. I think this is one that Victor's going to hopefully finally break through here. This is on turf, admittedly. Cartano's down on the inside, the 6 horse, and you're going to see him. He's got run here, and this is turf racing. We know this so well. You long shot in these races all the time. You get the trip, you get the seam, or you don't, and you don't get it here. And Paco's just basically a passenger at this point. There's absolutely nothing he can do. We're essentially going to coast to the line here. Never got a fair shake of it. Look at the Tapeta races. Absolutely plummeting today after facing much, much better. I just kind of feel like, Victor, the horses, he's got 8 seconds and 10/3. It's not like the barn's not running. It's just not getting pictures taken.
It seems that he always seems that way. He seems to, level off a little bit during the championship meet, then come back storming.
Yes. Well
when
said.
we go. But, so we'll see how it is. I flipped it around. I went with the 4 on top backwards boogie from Arieples Mon. And just off these performances, over the last couple of races, been knocking on the door. Just hasn't found the winner's circle, but fits the conditions here of this race. Non-winners of a race since August 23rd. This horse's last race was a win in May, so comes back. Been running okay. You go with 4, you go with 8.
Yeah, those are the 2. I think it's very, very obvious. The gap to whoever the rest is, maybe it's red flag alert, is a pretty big one to me, and looks like Mary's set up here to have a good chance at a W.
Yeah, red flag dropping in half, but boy, this horse does not like to win.
No, not
that's
at all.
That's one of the problems. So we do have tries, we do have supers, we do have an early break because we only have an 8-race card. We didn't mention it at the top, so we'll take a short break, take one breath because it's only been about 10 seconds we've been on the air, and we'll be back for the Rainbow Six in just a couple of minutes.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato. I made it official. I used our last name just in case you didn't know who we were, but I'm sure you did. Yeah, we're going to show you my Rainbow Six ticket this afternoon. We're going to start it right off with a single in here. I think this horse is that's my best bet actually today. The 2 at shopping at Bloomie's. I did many of that in my life. A couple of deep in race number 4, but my top pick in there, I think Chicken Parm is the way to go. Either to play or to eat is both ways. Lots of coverage in race number 5. I was a little confused in there, so I just you had the 7 as the morning line favorite. I had that one a little further down, but I wanted to add it. Then 2 deep in race number 6 with the 2 and the 5. My top pick is the 5, and that is Grimes, 7-5 on the morning line. In race number 7, 3 deep for me in there. That's that really interesting 1.5 miles on the turf. My long shot is in there, Utah Beach. I just think this horse is going to run. Your long shot too? Brian's long shot too. So, woo. We'll see how that works out. And lots of coverage in the last race with the 2, 5, 6, and 9. My top pick is the 2, Zano.
You got 6 2s there.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. Wow, look at that. Yeah, two better run well today, So we'll see how it goes. Shopping at Bloomie's here, I just thought was Brian the one to beat in here. Robert Falcone, Tyler Gaffleone. Comes off the bench at this level, going a mile into 16 on the Tapeta. Finishes third behind a pair of next out winners. So it turned out to be a good race, and this horse was right there at the wire, and I think this is an easier spot.
Yeah, Robbie got a win the other day on the Tapeta. That was good to see, and, basically any handicapping angle you're looking at says shopping at Bloomie's going to be a very short number in this kind of spot.
You did go also with the number 2. Then you have the 7 and second LTE Stark Winter. Is that show? That's that show with the.
I don't know.
With the.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. How's that go? I had to make a phone call to Pete. He wasn't sure. He had said I asked around. They're not sure. Pete says LTE Stark winner, and him we trust, obviously.
What is it, Game of Thorns?
Game of Thrones, right? I
Thrones.
never saw it. I don't know.
Yeah, so Joe Orsino drops in half.
Joe didn't know, apparently.
Yeah, drops in half, so...
yeah, that's it. You look at his Tapeta races, her Tapeta races, they fit with this group. You just kind of wonder where the form is, that's all.
The number 5, Starship, Sig Run. This one from Javier Negrete Bond, and this one has been okay coming off the bench. Ran okay, was, 2 back, got, behind shopping at Bloomie's, but comes back and took that positive step forward today.
Does seem like she found her form a little bit last time. If she moves forward, if the favorite comes back, maybe they meet in the middle, and she'll be a much better price, that's for sure.
Well, let's flip the page and go to race number 4 this afternoon. And I believe do we have Brian's late pick 5 already? With the 8-race card,
yeah.
we got to figure it out. 7.5 on the turf. These are claimers. And we do have a scratch of the 5, Sylvia's V Heroes. I like that horse a little bit. I have to wait for another day. Here's Brian's ticket, $36.
$36. The beauty of these 8-race cards is it's just horizontals galore, literally in the first 5 races. In race number 4, I've got the 4. We talked about the 5th already. I've got the 4 in there. You can see the single in race 6, and that is Grimes. Very short number in there. My long shot is your long shot, Utah Beach, Ronnie. And then in race number 8, the 9 on top for me, Paisan for Ronnie Spatz.
Hey,
I got to the Topeka last time, ran very well.
I had that horse a little further down, and I had to add that horse after I went back and looked again. So 7.5 on the turf. You got to like that this afternoon. They got the rail setting, it says here in the program, at 24 feet. I mentioned the 5 horse being scratched in this particular race. And do we have a replay here? No, we got a trainer stat in here. I started off with Chicken Palm, who was, like I said, my best bet of the day, and I just thought this was the logical horse. Dropping down, tried that allowance runners in the slop at Laurel. Brittany Russell, this horse looks like those 2 turf races, sort of a standout in the spot.
Just draw a line through the sloppy race last time at our sister track in Laurel. I want to bring up a stat. This is important because the Daily Racing Form keeps getting this wrong.
Why would they change that?
I don't know. This is not a turf sprint, okay?
Right.
7.5 at Gulfstream is a 2-turn route. So I wanted to show what Brittany's done. It's not her best stat, to be perfectly honest with you, because if you're familiar with Brittany, I mean, she's in the 20s. It's still solid enough, but it's not the 30% you see in the form with the gaudy ROI. This is a turf route today at 7.5.
Now, a horse that's going to stretch out today, which you wouldn't know in the form, is the number 4 Busy Morning, who you have on top, Jorge Abreu. Irad Ortiz Jr. Boy, who's been hotter than Jorge Abreu?
No,
no, that's Fernando. This is his brother, right?
Yeah, Fernando. Or Jorge's pretty good himself.
Yeah.
This is a send mission. Okay, you see Irad here. We're stretching out from 5, sprinting. Look at the fractions this one's been chasing by War Dancer out of a European mare on the bottom in the pedigree. Let's just break running and try to wire the field, and that's the plan of attack, I would assume, today.
The number 6, Seeking by the Storm. This one from Rodolfo Garcia. And you just see this horse run okay on the turf last time out. And, you look back and you say, oh, gee, he was up there, but he finished 5th, but he was beaten 3/4 of a length in the race, so it was a good performance.
It really was. And if my horse, and you've got my horse in second, if he can't see it out, this horse is going to be a good spot right off the far turn.
Yeah, and you got 7, Sandra D, a horse you might want to throw on your ticket from Jenna Antonucci. And this one's going to try the turf, so a little bit of a guesswork here. This one might be up on the engine too, right?
Yeah.
You would think stretching out around 2 turns. Once again, 7.5 furlongs at Gulfstream. Now this has been going on for at least 10 years. Is around 2 turns in there. So let's go to race number 5 this afternoon, and this one is 6.5 furlongs. Claim is 4 and up, which have never won 3 in life. Scratch the 1. This runs for you, and we have Brian's late pick 4 ticket. Every race we have something that Brian put together here today.
Except the rainbow. So I better hit one of these today, Ron. $30 here. You can see the single spreading a 5x4 late double. I would never play a 5x4 late double, but on a 50-cent late pick 4 ticket, you can do so there. These are good. I told you early, very, very tight ticket, $4 late. I initially had it at $90. My buddy Roble upstairs said, hey, you never fix your ticket. I said, well, we can't give out a $90 Big 5 ticket.
Well, you're right about that, because I agree with you. And my tickets, you saw the same thing. It was like very, very formful in the early part of the ticket. So now we're going to go with, who do you have on top in this race?
I got Scaramanga.
We got Scaramanga. So you get a replay you want to show.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on here, but this is the horse. There's a lot of horses in here that we're not really sure where their form is. If nothing else, Scaramanga comes in where he absolutely blasted them here in this 2L. Now, this is a significant step up in class because he's facing 3Ls today, but you're going to see him absolutely loaded here under Paco. He tips out, and he is down the road here, and that's a big time effort. It wasn't really fast. It didn't break any stopwatches. There's other horses they're going to bet in here, but I think he's in a good spot right back, Ronnie, because all these other horses we're going to talk about, they're all coming off losses.
Yeah, my thought process probably was to watch one after, of course, to step up in competition, but you make a real good point. And I did go with the horse you have in second on top, and that's Dream Night. And Dream Night, this one from Jose D'Angelo, first off the claim, and that's about a 23% move. And this one going 6 furlongs back in December. Finishes a good second, breaking from the rail, going to stretch out to 6.5 furlongs. Already has a win at the distance. You're getting the Hall of Famer Javier Castellano. Lots to like with the number 3.
Yeah, my only knock was where have you been? Because Jose usually turns him over pretty quickly. That was December 1st, and essentially we're 3 months later. Now Dream Night's just getting back. Javier is a Hall of Famer, as Ronnie said. He doesn't use them all that often, so I thought just maybe this horse is a little vulnerable. He probably gets helped by the scratch of Golden Skull because that's going to take some of the pace out of this
And
race.
the morning line favorite in here is the number 7 Cross Taste, Jorge Delgado, David Egan in the saddle, and you can just see this horse. Once again, they claim it for 12.5. They try, let's see what this horse can do on it to Peter at much better. They realize what they got, it looks like, and drop him down where he belongs.
Where he belongs, and you can see his dirt races. He's been facing much, much better. So he is, to me, he's clearly the one to beat today.
Major number 5, Major King. Maybe you want to use this horse, but the only problem I had with 0 for 2 at the distance, tried that mile last time out, but ran pretty good at the mile.
He did. Barnes winless, we've seen this horses come from Jose D'Angelo. Now you just wonder, can he keep maintaining the form?
Now we'll go to race number 6, 5 furlongs on the Tapeta, and this one is a claimer for 4-year-olds and up. Do you have a ticket in here?
No, I got nothing for you.
Sorry. You don't want to do a late pick 3 or anything? We have time here. We got 37 minutes to go here, so if you want to put one together while I'm talking, feel free here. So, you're single in here. I agree wholeheartedly with the number 5 Grimes, and this one from Mike Maker, Luis Saez in the saddle.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're giving this horse away, but he's taken a precipitous drop here. He was in his 50 starter last time. He ran pretty well, to be honest with you. Third start of the form cycle, third start off the elongated layoff. Like I said, he's not being given away for 35. He's going to be real trouble for this field.
Well, you got a video that includes number 6, Drop Kick Murphy, who you have in second for Laura Cesaris.
Yeah, so the gang's all here, right? This is Frisson, Dropkick Murphy, and 3-0 splits them. Now, this is on the turf last time, and it's a turf sprint, but you just kind of see what's going on here. Dropkick Murphy ran pretty well because he's setting some really, for this kind of group, Ron, those are pretty ambitious fractions. And he only got beaten 3.5 lengths here. Vamos Viejo was a pretty stiff, strong favorite in here. I thought Dropkick Murphy ran very, very well. We know this kind of speed plays on the Tapeta too, and that's why I put him in second. But again, I think, I kind of think everybody's running for second.
Yeah, behind Grimes, you were right. I did try with the number 2 horse in here, Frisson. And Frisson won its debut in the Tapeta, albeit was back in November of 2023, just before we turned to, December, January. And then they try him on the turf last time out, and he runs okay. So keying off that performance there, Jose Ortiz, 4 wins on Sunday. Yeah. Do you use this horse somewhere on your ticket?
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. He ran very, very well. I want to add with Dropkick Murphy. He's going to run on Tapeta for the first time for Laura Cesaris, and she's been doing good work. But certainly Frisson, at least if nothing else, Frisson is lightly raced with some upside.
Well, let's go to race number 7 this afternoon. And, you got to love these races. If you like distance and you like the turf 1 mile and 1/2, it's an allowance optional claimer. This one for 4-year-olds and upward. And no scratches in this race. And both Brian and I have a long shot in here, and that is the 2 Utah Beach, 8-1 on the morning line. And I just thought this horse, being by English Channel, bred up and down to love this distance, going to the turf today, looks like a logical contender to get a little bit of a price.
Yeah, and Nacho Correas does such a good job with these types of horses. You can see this horse was up in Lexington, up at Keeneland, and not that long ago. Clearly had this spot in mind all along, knows how to read a condition book. You can see the good turf race at Churchill in November. We're well drawn in here. the horse to beat just literally broke a 5-year losing streak. So I think Utah Beach, hopefully we do get a square price round, because he's a little slow on paper.
Yeah, he's a little slow, and that's why. But you said, I like the connections. We'll see how this horse runs. Certainly bred up and down to run the mile and a half, if not longer. Now you want to show a video that has the morning line favorite, and that's 8 Henley's Joy.
Yeah, so Safi claimed this horse for 35 last time, right back. He couldn't lose his spot, even though he had come in off 33 straight losses, dating back to the, how about this, Ron, the Grade 1 Belmont Derby in 2019. But what a trip he got here under IRAD this day. The C's part here opens the door. Boom, we're right on through. The losing streak is over. I wanted to show this. Harry Hood ran okay here to be third. I wanted to show this, though, because that's what it took to break. Now, he was good that day. I don't want to beat him up too much, but that's what it took. It took the trip of the year to break the losing streak. I just can't see him getting another trip like that, as good as Safi is, and he's so strong. 27% he's up to off the claim. I got to try to beat this horse
Yeah,
today.
just the fact that he jumped in and claimed an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
You don't usually see that too much, people going in and getting an 8-year-old. They probably think this horse can win a couple of races here under certain conditions. I had some interest in the 7 horse in here, and that's Harry Hood. And I just thought this horse, why? Speed.
Yeah, tactical speed. Yeah.
Tactical speed. That was my thought with number 7, Harry Hood.
Yeah, and he ran very well at a mile and a half, 2 back. Hey, this is Junior's first start back, by the way, since the Saudi win, so we'll give him some.
Yeah, I saw him pull up in a Mercedes today.
Brand new Mercedes.
Yeah, he was towing 2 Mercedes behind it. Good, greatest guy couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Absolutely.
5.5 furlong. Did you see the thing with his wife on that?
So
that's
cool.
So cool,
So
man.
cool.
They were watching the wrong horse like we usually do.
Yeah, so cool, because he didn't have the traditional senior Buscador silks.
Right.
Well, what a ride Junior put in. Again, our Pegasus horses go over there and run 1-4 in a bang-up effort from what a cool story.
Yeah, they were saying the Pegasus is not a good key for that race. I think they might be wrong about that this year. 5.5 furlongs under Topita. What's that? Our last race. Maiden Claimers, 3-year-olds. Scratch the 1, leave it blank. The 3, Daneland, and the number 7, Teofimo. And those 1, 3, and 7 have been clad out of the last race. And you went with the number 9 right on top. This was your single?
No, but this is a strong play here. I mean, it's just right in front of you. He really hadn't done any running. And then Ronnie Spatz, who's had a really good championship meet, puts him on the Topita. Boom, he blows way up with a good second. Irad is here as well, and I think from this post, too, I think that only flatters him as well.
I did go with the number 2, and I actually grew up with a kid named Anthony Zano. I went to school with and for years, lived down the block for me, and I just thought this horse on the drop was interesting in here, trying the Topita. You look 2-3 starts back, 35, finishes second. I just thought this would be a logical one. The problem is I saw some speed in there. He's going to need that trip.
And he's on the rail now, too,
Yeah.
and that's what I didn't really like him. He did add Lasix. It was on turf last time when he woke up. I just thought Rohan is so wrong. Crichton's so prolific off the claim, and he didn't get any improvement at all out of this horse in December. So I was kind of maybe fade him a little bit. 3 scratches out of this race, probably going to knock the price down too. I don't know what to make with the 6.
Parakeet, comes out of a monster key
race.
race. 4 winners out of 8 starters, but did not run a step. That was on the turf, maiden special weight. Now going to try 25 sprinting on the Topita. This is Wesley Ward. He does all these crazy kind of things. Maiden special weight to maiden claimer, but he's only 15%. Just think they're just trying something here. But you're getting Tyler Gaffleone coming out of that key race. Killed me not to put this horse on top.
You know what I didn't like that day? First time gelding, too.
Yeah.
He was 14-1 in that race.
Yeah.
Right? When do you see that ever with a Wesley Ward horse on turf, for that matter? I don't know what to make of him, so, to be very careful here.
It's good to watch the board when you're doing these type of races. See if this horse takes some money in there, and that is the number 6 horse. And that's how we wrap up the 8-race card. It's a good card, and you get later in the card, you got the 2 turf races. You got that 1.5 miles, which is always fun on the grass and everything. But we're not done because we have the ever-popular lightning round to go through, and we got the standings. Let's see how everybody's doing.
You're all over the lightning round. I know you are. We'll start with the jockey standings now, and Irab was out of town a little bit, but nobody really made. I guess Jose now. There's our battle right now.
Yeah.
Now we know there's the battle for second on the podium. Paco's been so strong all meet, but Jose Ortiz has really done a good job. And those are your 3, and we know our winner, very likely, I should say, and Paco and Jose will duke it out.
Well,
second.
I'm sorry, Brian. And let's check out the trainers here, see what's going on. I think Safi's got a pretty substantial lead here, 47 to Todd, and 24. Safi's doing exceptionally well once again.
Yeah, without a doubt. Kudos to him. Just picked up his 1,000th career victory in the finale on Sunday. That was great to see. Such a team effort, family effort with Safi. You know, we know his dad and, of course, the family with his son Rocco, always in the silks, and wife and daughter. So couldn't happen to a better guy, and it was really, really cool to see.
You made a great point that, the first 5 years here, he probably got, 300 wins. If he got 300 wins, and since then, what Safi has done. So, and Todd in second, and Mark Cassie. What a great meet he is having, Mark Cassie. And you see Brian and Jose D'Angelo always right there at the wire. So, Fountain of Youth Stakes is on Saturday, and can't wait for it. And I think you did the line already for this.
Yeah, so I think Dornock's got to be favored in here. He comes out of the Remsen win where he beat the horse that comes back, Sierra Leone, a lot of people's Kentucky Derby horse, and Dornock beat him and then he comes back and wins the Risen Star, which many people think, at least up to this point, was the best Derby prep. And I said it on a podcast the other day with Jason Beam. I don't think this race takes his backseat to anyone, Ron. This is a power race here, locked on the comeback for Todd. Speakeasy, that freakish winner over Victory Avenue, and I actually made Victory Avenue favored over Speakeasy. They always bet those Delgado horses, and those are two really exciting horses. Real Macho was good for Rohan the other day.
Well, I picked Lockton here.
Okay.
But that's if Speakeasy stays in the race. It's also entered in Friday. I don't know if they decided if they're going to run that horse on Friday and Saturday, Saturday, so you're going to watch that. An allowance race on Friday, or does he go in here? He's major part of the pace scenario in there.
And Merritt is in Friday, too. So I will update that. This is your official line, but I will update it because if Speakeasy runs Friday, and we don't know, I think Todd said I'm not going to decide till Friday, the whole complexion of this race dramatically changes.
And, we're going to have mandatory power on Sunday, I believe, right? Sunday, and let's see if we can last through the weekend. They've been catching this thing, but we got the Fountain of Youth. There's all the stakes.
Amazing. There's 9 stakes. 8 of them are graded, and you want a power card. It is Saturday, 14 races, and 11-15 first post. It's part of that first racing tour. The card is, I know you looked at it already. The card's phenomenal.
Yeah, no, I had a tough time. I already handicapped it, and you can go. Just got to wait to see what happens in that Fountain of Youth, who stays in, who might go out. So we'll see how that plays out. We got the mandatory payout, which I always try to jump to. That'll be on Sunday.
I'm going to tell you what. Now, there's obviously 4 racing days left. If we get to Sunday and nobody hits this thing, and there's 700 in there today, it's going to be massive the next 4 days. If we get to Sunday, $10 million is front and center and firmly in play.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can get there. And, as we mentioned at the top of the show, Brian did, we have new posts for the weekdays at 1:10 p.m. on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then this Saturday is going to be 11:15 because of the Fountain Youth. But weekends are going to be 12:10 p.m. going forward. And this next Sunday will be 12:10, so a little confusing. But Wednesday to Friday, we know for sure at 1:10 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. So just a little later, that's all.
And your best bet this afternoon?
Yeah, it's a little early on in the card in race number 2, and that is Cartano on the drop for Victor Barbosa.
Mine is in race number 3. It starts, they're shopping at Bloomy's, 7-5 on the morning line. We both have the same long shot, so you can put them in any order you want. Here we'll go with Brian's first, Utah Beach. Of course, he copied mine, so mine will be Utah Beach too. So we'll see how that plays out. I wonder if he's going to get bet.
Well, who wouldn't want to copy your long shot? All kidding aside, because he's been on fire since he's come back. I don't know if he's going to get bet or not. They're going to bet Henley's Joy. I really hope we do get around 8-1 because he's a long shot.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. So 73,000 plus already in the pick 5. Fast main track, firm turf course. Going to turn it over to the one and only Pete Aiello. He'll give you all the scratches, updates, and call all the races. And we'll be back here between each and every race trying to give you some useful insights. Good luck.